Hello guys, I'm Kirti here from ThinkQuotient software. Let's try to have introduction with most demanding technologies today, that is machine learning, artificial intelligence, and along with it Python. So in this session basically we will be focusing on what is artificial intelligence and what are its application areas, how it would be benefiting you, how AI benefits us. Then what is correlation in between AI, machine learning, and there is one more term called as deep learning. By taking these all technologies together, we are happy to introduce one module for your purpose, and as a part of that module, which is basically focusing on ML, that is machine learning, deep learning and artificial intelligence along with Python. So in that module, which different contents are being covered, we'll have introduction to or say syllabus of that module as well, and obviously how to implement these things using Python. So we'll just try to see some basic features of Python programming language along with some simple implementations. So yes guys, we'll try to understand these terminologies like machine learning, deep learning, etc., where they gets used, what are the internal techniques to get the tasks done from these all techniques. But basically we should understand the very basic concept, that is AI. What is AI? So basically AI, you must have recognized, it is nothing but artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? It is one of the technique in which we expect machines to work smartly like human. I mean, as human uses his experience, his knowledge, his brain, his ideas in his work, in same way I can expect my machines to work in that way. Means in short, in artificial intelligence will incorporate human intelligence to machines. And how it will benefit us? Obviously, AI in this way, by acting like a human, okay, I mean by applying a brain like a human, it will be helping humans to get the task done in better way, I mean using better performance by efficient way. So AI is playing important role helping humans to work with better performance and better efficiency without help of humans. So basically this AI as one of the technology, in which fields it's being used, where we have seen these techniques being used. So actually in nowadays in almost all sectors AI technology has been utilized. You must have heard cars which can be driven without driver. So self-driving cars or autonomous vehicles. You also have seen like flights flying without pilot, autonomous flight or autonomous flying of flights. Likewise, in sports sector also, this AI is really playing what you can say very important role. Means in terms of sports analytics and activities. Take example, you must have heard chess is one of the game, and a person can play chess with machine also in nowadays. So this is what, in that machine it has ability to think like human and it can take a next move, okay. So this is used in sports analytics as well. Likewise in manufacturing and production industry also, you must have heard robots gets utilized over there. In retail, shopping and fashion sector also it is being used. Likewise in face recognition system, very important application area of it. I can take the attendance of human or any person by recognizing its face. So face detection systems you can say. Likewise navigating map or busy street indications, these kinds of applications also internally using artificial intelligence. So basically you must be eager to know how it works, and I mean you must be thinking about to learn it. Basically how it will benefit you by learning this, how and why we should study it. So here one more sector, if you see, even AI is utilized in medical diagnosis, okay. So some systems like, wherein remotely operations can be done. Okay, over there, intelligence, what you can say, artificial intelligence plays very crucial role. So let's come to the point why we should study it, how it is going to benefit us. Obviously, for you guys, your aim is to grow in terms of, what you can say, your profession, in terms of salary, right? So this artificial intelligence is giving you better career opportunities. Many, what you can say, top level companies like Google, Facebook, Microsoft, even Nokia, these types of companies, they have started recruiting AI talent in nowadays. And with AI technology, there are number of profiles, job profiles which are being introduced and they are in demand, like machine engineer or machine learning engineer, in fact, BI developer, means business intelligence developer, research developer, data scientist. These are the few roles which are demanded in industries. So definitely you have very bright career scope in terms of very promising opportunities and in terms of good packages also. Likewise, if you say AI is versatile, means don't consider or don't assume AI will be used only in computer or in some scientific or say space kind of industries. For normal human being or for layman, whatever applications he uses, in that kind of applications also this artificial intelligence technology gets utilized. Okay, let me tell you a few examples. Even in media industry it gets utilized. Okay, many more movies, like you must have heard Terminator. Okay, it is based on AI technology. AI technology is used fully in that. Likewise, if I want to get what you can say, it utilized into farming or in agriculture, even over there it is useful. AI gets utilized over there. Even in banking and finance sector also it gets utilized. So almost all sectors has been covered, or in that all sectors AI is utilized in nowadays, and in that way it has become skill of century. Also, it helps us in better way to manage the disasters, and it helps us, or it gives us very rich user experience. You must have heard, or somebody of maybe some of you have experienced Siri like technique or technology which is provided by what you can say, Apple, in their iPhone and iPad. This is what it is giving, very rich experience based on what you can say, speech detection. Speech detection is a kind of application based on this. Okay, likewise it is beneficial to society in terms of, in less duration I will be able to get n number of tasks done in efficient way, and in this way it is helping to human, right? So these are few facts that we should understand, and this is really being used at so major level, and definitely you will find out, or you can choose it as your growth path further to improve. You can go for career in AI or career in machine learning and AI along with Python. Along with machine learning, artificial intelligence, such terminologies, I have spoken about something called as deep learning as well. Means I said one of the terminology is a deep learning. So let's try to understand what is this machine learning and deep learning basically, and how they relate to each other. Okay, so let's see this figure first of all. Here you are able to see three ellipses. Innermost ellipse is, you just consider it is your deep learning. Middle ellipse is your, what you can say, machine learning model, and then outermost ellipse, that is the part or area of artificial intelligence. So from this simple figure, in fact, you can understand what is these three things are. Not in point of view of technology, but in point of view of understanding, okay, basic concept understanding. I can say deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. Means what? If I want to realize applications of artificial intelligence, means if I want to develop applications using artificial intelligence, then to realize that artificial intelligence, machine learning can be used. So that's why machine learning is a subset of, or I can say it's a part of artificial intelligence. Likewise, deep learning is also subset of AI. So to realize artificial intelligence in better way, you can use these two technologies, which is machine learning and deep learning. So in simple words, I can say artificial intelligence can be achieved by using machine learning and deep learning. So what is machine learning? So machine learning is a subset of AI. But what does it means? I mean, basically what do you mean by machine learning? To understand this term, I would like to discuss one example with you guys first. Just take example, suppose we are using some online shopping application. You also must have used like Amazon and Flipkart, right? So over there, on daily basis, if you are doing your shopping and you are putting the items into shopping cart, so if you are doing it regularly, frequently, then automatically that application, it understands your pattern, your choice or your interest areas of purchasing items. And when you go to shopping next time, so probably, I mean, it definitely will recommend or suggest some new items to you. You may go for this. Suppose today I have purchased shirt, okay, or I have purchased some purse, okay. So when I go for shopping next time, it would definitely suggest me this is the what you can say new kind of purse, or this is the new kind of new brand of shirt has been what you can say is introduced. You may go for that item selection. So definitely such suggestions and recommendations we can expect from that application. So I can say in this application internally, I mean, how come that application could recognize my choice, or how come on the basis of what it is recommending me next items? I can say very simple thing, that is that machine, I mean that application has learned my choice of shopping. Okay, means there is some technique which made my machine learn like a man, and on the basis of what it could learn my pattern or say my choice or interest of shopping, that is by understanding my previous shoppings done. So some data is already provided, it is already with that application, and internally some such technique is being utilized which is using that data which is already provided to it, and based on that data, based on pattern of that data, it is giving me some recommendations, it is giving me some decision or suggestions. So this technique is what? It is nothing but internally for in these applications I can use machine learning model. So machine learning model basically helps my user, or machine learning model, it makes my computer to learn. It teaches my computer to learn. Okay, you may say some another example. Suppose I have some trade application in which I have provided sales figures or sales data of previous 8 to 10 years. So definitely this specific system, if internally it is working on machine learning model, then it will use that data as an input, and by reading that data internally it will follow some algorithms, some techniques, and based on which it would be definitely tell me what would be the sale for current year. Means by using such machine learning model based applications, I can definitely expect some predictions, some suggestions, some decisions. How it is able to do that? A huge data will be provided as input to it. It will recognize the patterns from it and will come up with some output. So this is what? Machine learning. So what I can say? Machine learning, it is a mechanism to recognize patterns in your data, and it uses some learning model or algorithms. So basically by studying your data provided, okay, internally it uses some algorithms. There are many more algorithms, okay, like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, regression, okay, then clustering, n number of algorithms are there. So this machine learning model, it will use some algorithm and it will empower our computers to learn. So such mechanism is nothing but machine learning. I hope you are clear with machine learning as a term. Now let's try to understand term what is deep learning. So again, as we discussed, deep learning is subset of machine learning, or you can say it is a subset of AI. So with machine learning we studied, it helps me to recognize the pattern of my data and it is able to give me some predictions or suggestions or some decisions. But up to some level, or I can say beyond some level, machine learning will not be able to give us expected output. Okay, take some example. If I have one what you can say AI based device which I am using to control the light system in my room, and I have just provided a voice commanding to that what you can say machine. I'm giving commands through voice, say switch on and switch off, switch on and switch off. So when I say switch on, lights should glow brightly, and switch off will just make the lights off. But if user gives a commands in between or apart from these two terminologies, if user says the lights are dim, so probably if that AI system internally it is working only machine learning model, then it won't be able to make lights brighter for me. Why? Because it will not be able to do, it will not be able to understand how to make it brighter, and it is not able to learn my data, it will not be able to learn my pattern. So in such situations, beyond this machine learning scope, I may need one more technique which will be able to do some complex calculations for me. It will be able to process some complex data as well. Maybe that data is from what you can say surroundings, that data may be in a form of images, that data may be in a form of voice, whatever you say. Okay, so beyond machine learning, there is one more technique which will study the data that you have provided and it will fulfill your expectation. Means if that device, if it is based on what you can say, it is AI based but internally it is using deep learning as well, then deep learning technology over there which is inside that device will definitely understand what I am saying. Means if I say lights are dim, then it will understand it and it will make that room light glow in brighter way. Okay, so in this way deep learning is the technology or say technique which will be able to do some complex calculations in more details for you by studying the data. Obviously over there also we are going to provide some data to it on which it will work, but internal technique to work used by deep learning is same like our brain. Means as a human brain works, see, if me as a human, if I see the light is dim in this what you can say room, what I would have done, I mean my eyes will see the lights are dim, then my brain neuron system will understand, yes it is dim, so next course of action automatically it will follow. So in same way, if I expect my what you can say machine to work like a human brain, it should what you can say mimic like human brain, then definitely deep learning kind of technology will help you. And few more examples where this deep learning gets utilized, they are like face detection system and autonomous vehicles. So in autonomous vehicle driving, again, what will be the further hurdle while driving the car, or what will be the obstacles over there, can't predict. So over there immediately that deep learning model internally it will use its own neural what you can say network, as our brain has neural network. Deep learning also will have some neural network and it will be able to drive, it will be able to get the path further. Understood? So this deep learning, it solves more complex problems. It does complicated computing by its own, very important thing. And by solving that complicated computations, I mean by solving that complex problems, in that way whatever output gets generated may gets utilized by your machine learning also. So to achieve artificial intelligence, this is how deep learning also plays a very important role. I can realize artificial intelligence in better way by using deep learning as well. So how it will be able to solve these complex problems? For deep learning, internally it uses some techniques. Okay, they are like ANN, that is artificial neural network. Okay, means here like human brain, it will have its own neural network and it will be able to get the problem solved. In case of ANN, Generally, this technique gets utilized when the data provided to this AI device based on deep learning, when it takes an input in a form of numbers. Sometime I may provide, say in face detection system, over there input goes in a form of images. So if input is going in a form of images, then over there it uses internal technique called as CNN. So it stands for convolutional neural network. Sometime the input which is provided to your deep learning model is maybe in a form of time series. So in that situation, internally it would use some another algorithm, another technique, that is RNN, that is recurrent neural network. So this is how your machine learning and deep learning will play very important role, and they will help me to realize artificial intelligence in better way. I'm sure you must be eager to learn all these things now. Okay, so based on these all technologies, whichever small module we are introducing, okay, so what different things it is including. So let's try to focus on syllabus of this module. Just say this. So as I have told you here, to realize, see, our aim will be to develop AI based application, artificial intelligence based application we have to develop. So to develop ML, DL and AI based application, I have to do some coding. So that coding will be done using which programming language? That is Python. So basically Python is a general purpose programming language which helps me to develop mobile applications, desktop applications, even web applications, and it will support me. Here it contributes its role in implementation of ML AI based applications as well. So in point of view of that, whichever concepts are required, they are being covered here in Python programming as well. So basically in this module you have Python, which will include some concepts like Python for data science and machine learning. Likewise, for artificial intelligence foundation, you are expected to know some concepts from mathematics like statistics, probability, linear algebra, calculus, matrices, geometrical representations. So some flavor of it as a, what you can say, refresher to your brain is being covered here. Likewise, in terms of data analysis using Python libraries. So Python is providing some set of libraries like NumPy, Panda, Matplotlib for a purpose of data cleaning and data visualization. So how to do data cleaning, preparation, data visualization by using these libraries, that we are going to focus in data analysis using Python libraries. Then in machine learning, we are going to focus on, what you can say, foundation concepts of it. So in foundation concepts, what we are going to focus on, that is the basic algorithms which is going to help you to understand or to make your computer to learn patterns, and these algorithms also will be covered. But before that, foundation concepts which will be covered, they are like feature engineering, dimension reduction, regularization, model evaluation matrices, and then actually in machine learning we'll study that algorithms like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, classification, regression and clustering. And in deep learning, as just now we discussed, we will be focusing on artificial neural network concept, CNN, RNN, perception concept, backpropagation, how to do it, then autoencoder system, natural language processing, and face detection and recognition. So these things will be covered into machine learning, deep learning, and to learn these all, whichever basic Python concepts are required, no? So as a Python programming, few basic concepts also we are going to focus on. They are like fundamental or very Python basic concepts. Probably if somebody is from non-IT background, for them also it will be useful. They also will be able to learn Python. So Python is very simple language, even kid can learn it. Okay. Also we will be focusing on how to install Python and how to use Python code. You can draft it in any editor in fact, but we are going to use some IDEs, that is integrated development environment, and there are many more. From that we are going to use something called as Jupyter. Then in Python, how to declare variables, then data structure and built-in functions, control statements like if, while, for, how to use them, user defined functions also will be able to build, how to handle strings, file handling concept, how to deal with basic SQL over here through Python. So SQL basics also will be there. Then module concept, packages concepts, basic OOPS concepts, exception handling, collection concept, and regular expressions. These all are included as a Python. And now you must have understood Python is going to act as one of the tool to develop your AI applications. So let's try to know about Python as a language. So Python language features, let's try to focus. Okay, basically Python is a high level programming language. It is very much popular and it is fast growing language. As just discussed, it is what you can say used as a general purpose programming language, and as I have told you, it is very much easy to learn because the syntax is quite simple, no complications at all while drafting a code. And very much important point, it has very enriched set of libraries which helps you to develop variety of applications. It may be web application, it may be desktop application, and specifically libraries contributes more to develop AI like applications through Python. Okay, and it gets interpreted directly. There is no concept of compilation of Python code. It is interpreted language. It is open source programming language, and very crispy concept of it, it supports, it helps us for code optimization. Means you will experience, like if in some other programming languages to do some task, if I am drafting a code of say some 10 to 12 lines, probably in Python I will be able to do it in 3 to 4 lines only. So code optimization is the what you can say one of the key why this has become more popular. And yes, it is object oriented programming language. So the way of thinking to implement few things, you will really think in natural way. Okay, so just to have, I mean there is no point to just discuss the points. I would like to show you simple implementation of what you can say Python language. We'll just say simple 1 or 2 codes. Okay, and also parallelly we'll see how Python is really helping us to optimize the code. Okay, so before going ahead, I will just show you a simple implementation with a Python, and then we'll come to the concept of code optimization. Okay. Yes, so guys, to develop our Python code, right now I have opened Jupyter IDE, and in this Jupyter IDE now I'm going to create my Python file. I'm just selecting one folder here, and okay, let's create a new file. Okay, so right now whatever file I'm going to create, it is untitled, if you are able to see. So if I want to give some title to this file, I may give it like say simple code, and I'm just clicking on save. So when I work with a Jupyter IDE, then over there whichever file we are going to create, just a moment, this file, it seems already there. I'm saying it as simple code 1. Okay, so whichever file we have created here with Jupyter IDE, its extension will be IPynb. Okay, actually when you develop your what you can say Python code, that specific file extension will be .py. Okay, but here with the IDE, it is going to, I mean we are going to interpret it also in the same environment. This file gets loaded or gets saved with extension IPynb. Okay, so I have saved it, and now let's see if I want to have some variable declared in Python, then how to do that. Now it is very simple. There is no need to declare the data type of the variable as we do it generally in other programming languages. Basically in Python also there are 6 different types of data types, but if I just want to have some variable, say x, and I want to put value 10 inside that, it will automatically consider x as a number type. Means right now it is of integer type. In number category we have integer, float, and complex type. Okay, also we have something called as some sequence type like string, list, tuple. Likewise there is something called as dictionary. Okay, and yes, there is a boolean type as well. So here x has got initialized with a value 10, and I'm just pressing shift and enter now. So X value has got, what you can say, stored over there, and here your integer value, how much length it would be, there is no any limit on that. Okay, so if I want to print X, I can simply say X like this. It is showing me X value as a 10, or I may use a simple print, what you can say, method. I mean print value of X like this. Okay, this is simple. This is how you will declare the variable. Now let's see example how it helps me to do code optimization. See, if I want to generate a code something like this is simple Java code that I am displaying in front of you. In this code, what we are trying to do, I am just taking two integer type variables a, b, and they are with value 5 and 6. There are two more integer variables c and d. In c I want to keep addition of a and b, and in d I want to keep multiplication of a and b, and simply I am going to display c and d afterwards. So to do this through Java programming like language or using C or whatever other language, you are supposed to write so many lines of code here. See, in Java I am expected to put everything in a class, then inside that you write a main method with its expected syntax, then declare the variable, initialize the values, have separate initialization statements and display it out. So much task to do. Okay, so around 7 to 8 lines you are able to see in front of you. But now if I want to get same task done using Python, just see simply how we can achieve it. So I'm back here in Jupyter environment now, and to achieve the same tasks, now see I'm just having two variables, say A and B, and I expect A to be initialized with a 4 and B is to be initialized with 5. So I can do it simply like this in one line. Okay. Likewise, I expect two more variables, say C and D, and C should be initialized as addition of A plus B. So I am putting it in a bracket like this, put a comma, with comma separated list also I can initialize the variable D, and I want D should be initialized as a multiplication of A and B, and after that I am simply trying to print the value of C and D. Okay, and if you just see this output now, I am able to achieve same output just by writing 3 statements. So are you able to realize how much simple it is, how much simple syntax it has, very simple language. Okay, and even it is able to achieve same output just by drafting 3 line of code, I mean 3 line of statements. So it is in this way helping me to do optimization. Let's see one more example. Suppose I want to generate an output or say some pattern of star symbols like this. If I wanted to do it through Java like programming language, I have to write this much lengthy code. So in this code, first of all, I am asking to my user like how many rows with this pattern you want to print, and depending on that I am just running nested for loop structure, and each time I am displaying that asterisk character and just skipping the line so that next stars will be displayed on next line. So it is taking some 12 to 13 what you can say lines to code it to get such kind of output. Now how we can get it? Just by drafting some 3 to 4 lines using Python. Just see that. So as over there in Java we had drafted a code to get the row numbers, that how many rows user want to display. In same way, if I want to get something as an input from keyboard here in Python, I will be using one method which is readily available called as input. So I'm saying input, enter number of rows. Okay, so when this method works, it returns whatever I entered through keyboard, it returns that whole stuff as a string. So on left hand side, if I just take it into row as a variable, this row will be considered as a string. But I don't want to treat it as a string, I want to have it as an integer. So let me get it typecasted in integer. This is how you will do typecasting in your, what you can say, Python code. Now further, I am applying some logic which will help me to build that pattern. So here, using Python to do that, there is no need of what you can say nested for loops. Okay, in Python also, like other programming languages, you have what you can say repetitive constructs. Okay, so one of that I'm using, that is what, a for loop. So I am taking what you can say, just to count how many iterations I have done, I am taking I, which will run in between say 0 or say 1 to the expected number of rows. So if I want to move my i's value in between this specific range, okay, then I can use one of the special type provided called as range. So I'm saying for I in range in between, so this range always starts with a 0, okay, and whatever another parameter you have passed, this value minus 1, up to that it goes, okay. So if I am saying I in range 0 to row, means I am expecting 5 rows to display, so this will run for what you can say 0 to 4, means exact 5 times it will do that stuff. If I don't provide it 0 over here, it's alright. By default it will get it from 0 only. It will start that iteration from 0 and it will go up to row minus 1. And what task I want to do in for loop, that I will mention here, and here my for loop starts after colon. Now whatever task I want to mention, I will immediately draft it here. There is no need of specifying opening closing curly brackets. It always works with a tab specification. At this tab level, whichever statements I will draft, they all will be considered as a part of this for loop. So right now, I'm just simply applying a logic to print that pattern, and how it is. I'm saying print. Now what I wanted to print? I want to print some pattern that is asterisk symbol, and after that white space I would like to give, so that it will show me some attractive output, okay. And this specific pattern, how many times it is to be repeated, so that repeater specification I can give with what you can say, this is, you can say, repeater symbol, okay. And how many times I want to repeat? Suppose I want to print star 3 times. Now this star is a string right now, understand, this is a string. I want this pattern to be repeated say 3 times, then it will repeat it 3 times. This is how it works. But right now I want to repeat it for how many times? In my pattern, if it is a first row, let it get repeated only once. If it is second row, let it get repeated twice. If it is third row, let it get repeated thrice. Means in other words, it should be repeated I plus 1 times. Initially I would be 0, okay. So for first row, I plus 1 means 0 plus 1, that is this pattern will be repeated exactly how many times? Once. When next time for second row it would go, this pattern would be repeated how many times? Twice, in that way. So I simply mention it like this, and let me run this code. I'm just pressing shift shift enter to run this code, and it is asking me how many number of rows you want to see with that pattern. Suppose I say 9, and I pressed enter. So based on input I have provided, it has displayed that many rows with that specific pattern. So are you able to see, with simply 3 lines I could achieve my output? It is very much optimized way to code, okay. And that's why Python is becoming so much popular in nowadays. So in both the examples you have seen how code optimization can be done, okay. That's great, and that is really interesting, and such many more techniques are there. This is one simple, what you can say, demonstration that we are seeing right now. Also, I would like to tell you one more, or let's discuss one more interesting type available into Python, that is a string type. Okay, so generally, if I want to hold a string type value, string, how it gets treated as variable over there. So basically, string is internally, it always gets considered as a byte type array. It's a array kind of specification, and to handle strings in efficient way, there is one predefined class provided, that is str. Okay, so that class has come up with readily available methods to do manipulations with a string. But basically, if I want to assign a string to any variable, how I could have done that? So see here, I am saying, suppose st is the string. Don't take str. Str is the ready-made thing. It is a predefined class in a Python. Okay. So don't take your variable name as a str. I am taking it as a st. So if I want to assign some string to this variable, suppose I am assigning it like ThinkQuotient. Okay. So here, by just putting that string into single quotes, I'm able to assign the string to variable. Even you could have put it in, what you can say, double quotes as well. No problem. In double quotes also we can have our string. Okay. Sometime if your string is with a multiple lines like a para, then you may put it into triple quotes. So these variety of possibilities to hold your strings are available with Python. Okay. So appreciated way is to hold it with a single quotes. So I'm just putting it in a single quotes, that some value ThinkQuotient, and I'm trying to assign it to this specific st variable. Okay. Now this st variable has got assigned, and if I want to display it, you say print st or normal st, it is showing you this specific string which has got assigned here. Now to work with this string, now as I have told you, internally it gets considered as a array of, byte type array. Okay. So over here there is a facility that I can access element from string by using its indices. I can use an index of some character and I can access any element. And here index also, as you have learned in other programming languages, here as well index always starts with a 0. So if I say st of 0, so what it does, it will return me the very first character which is at 0th position, that is t. If I give it like 2, then it will return the third character. Understanding? If I try to assign some value, or if I want to replace third index character by some other character, say k, so what will happen? Will it allow me? I'm getting error here. Why so? See, whatever manipulation you try to do with a string, okay, such manipulation will not take place in a same string. And here strings in a Python, they are immutable. Okay, you cannot do any modifications in an original string object, original string variable. Okay, so this is why it is giving us an error over here. Now, if I want to do the manipulations with a string, there are few methods also provided in a string class. Let me show you some 2-3 methods how you can use it. At a particular time, if I want to know what is the length of this string, then I could have simply said len. Len is the readily available method. I am saying len of st. So what it shows me, that is the length of that string. Likewise, if I want to know, let's take some other example. Suppose st1, and here in st1 I am having another string. Say this is Python class, okay, and Python is simple. So this is what the string is. Okay. Now suppose from this string I want to know how many times specific word is occurring. For example, how many times is available. Okay, are you able to say this? I want to find it out. Is, how many times it is available. So you have been provided with one function which you can call with this string, that is st1 dot count, and you may specify which occurrence you want to count. So I want to count the occurrence of is string in this given string. Okay, so what it returns you. So on left hand side, if you want to take that count, you can hold it right like this and then you print or use that count further, no problem. Right now I'm trying to display it directly. Okay, so here what it shows, is occurring 3 times. So in this also is there. This is second occurrence and this is third occurrence. If I had given it like this, then probably it won't find it out, and we are getting, what you can say, 0 occurrences of it. As count is available, likewise, see, count is giving you how many times that specific string is available. But if I am interested in finding out its location, where it is available, its first occurrence I want to see, then you have one of the function available, that is find. What is it? Find. Suppose in this I want to find the first occurrence of is. Okay, so find method will return its first occurrence index. Is available at second position first. Okay, so it is returning 2. If I would have given it like this, so st1.find is like this, so such kind of occurrence is not there, right? Such kind of occurrence is Not there. So find method in such situation, it would return -1, indicating it couldn't find that string. So that's why it is returning -1 as a output. As you have find method, likewise you have something called as index method also. So working of index method and purpose of index method and find method is same. Both of them helps me to find out the first occurrence of is. So when I say st1.index is, over here it is again showing me it is occurring first at second index. But the little bit difference in between, that is in index, if I provide some such string which is not occurring over there and in any index, then in such situation your index method would return exception. It would return what? Exception. So when I enter this, when I run this, here we are getting value error. It is a runtime error, we can say, and it is saying substring not found. Are you clear with it? So these are few methods available with your str class provided in Python, and yes, we were just dealing with how I can access this string characters by using what you can say, its index. And by the way, let me tell you, in Python you even don't have character as a data type. Character data type is not available as other languages have. So here if you have string with length 1, then that gets considered as a character. Are you clear? There is one more technique provided in a string. If I want to get some substring or if I want to get some part of string, then you may go for a slicing concept. Okay, so how slicing can be done? So just take example here. If I'm taking this st as one of the string, our st string is what? I think it's ThinkQuotient. Yeah, so this string, so from this string if I want to get some part of string, so for that purpose I can use slicing in this way. Basically slicing is provided with 3 sections in square bracket, and that sections are separated out with 2 colons. Okay, so first section it talks about you want to fetch a string character from which start position. So starting position we are supposed to mention, and you should fetch the characters up to which last position. So here you are going to provide end position. So whatever end position number you give, up to -1 of end position it tries to retrieve the things for you. And the third thing you will have, that is what? Step. So this is how slicing will have 3 sections, and I'm just keeping it for your purpose here. I'm keeping it in comment. This is how you will give single line comment in Python. Okay, now suppose if I say st of colon like this, I have not given anything. So by default start position would be considered as a 0, end position would be the length of your string, and stepping would be by default by 1. So when I run this, what you will be able to see, that is it is displaying whole and sole string. Even you could have displayed it like this, even if you just mention what you can say, sorry, not in curly bracket, it has to be in square bracket. If I just mention it like this also, no, still it will just fetch whole string for me. Okay, if I want to get some characters which are in between, say starting from index 4 or say 3 up to say 7th position and step it by 1. So it's okay if I don't give this 1, by default it will consider it as a 1. So I'm giving it right now for your purpose. So when I try to retrieve this slicing will give me output like this. So see 3, what does it indicates? N is at 3rd position, 3rd index I mean. T is at 0. This is 1st position, this is 2nd, and N is at 3rd position. Now from 3rd position, okay, including that 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th up to Q it has fetched the data. Okay, why up to Q? Because end position I have given as a 7. So end position -1, up to that it will try to slice that data. Okay, and the stepping it has taken, that is 1. If I would have given this stepping in this way, that is from say beginning, okay, up to say 10 characters, or say up to end, if I don't provide it's alright. Or if I want to provide, I can use a length function here. I can say length of st, that is nothing but it will give me some 13 or 14 characters in this. Okay, just now we saw, I guess. So over here this is the up to length of string, and I want each alternate character, so I'm giving stepping as 2. Okay. Okay, so when I give it like this, here we are able to see each alternate character from starting position it is giving to us. Are you clear? Now as you are able to access the characters from this string starting from 0th index and going up to the last, in Python you are even allowed to access character from string by using negative index. Okay, so negative index, how it will handle? So just see here, if I have a string like ThinkQuotient, okay, as a normal routine we could access it from beginning, that is from 0th index up to the, what you can say, last index is 13, means its size or length of the string is 14, right? Now Python allows me to access characters from this string even in reverse direction, I mean with a negative index. So for last character, index will be -1. For second last character, index will be -2. For third last, index will be -3. In this way, since there are 14 characters, the very last character in reverse order, it will be at -14th index. So by using this indexing style, even I can access the characters from string, and I may access it in reverse order as well. So if we want to display string in reverse order, how we could have given it? See, here I am not mentioning start, not mentioning end point, but stepping I am mentioning as a -1. So if I mention it as a -1, it tries to access it from -1 position. Each time it will go to, what you can say, -1, -1 means -2. So second last character, then -2, -1. It would just go to -3. In that way, it goes up to the length of that string. I mean up to -14, and here it gives me the string in reverse order in this way. Are you able to see? So this is also possible. If I want to get alternate characters from reverse order, so I would give this as, I mean stepping as a -2. Here you are able to see from reverse direction alternate characters I'm able to access. So just try to understand, Python is such, what you can say, fantastic language. It is just really giving us a magic concepts which are helping us to optimize the code, and in what you can say, different application implementations it is supporting me. And basically our focus will be with this module to develop AI based applications using Python as a tool. So I hope this session has really helped you, and you must have got some idea about what is machine learning, artificial intelligence and deep learning. Okay, so just make a hurry, you may take a decision to go ahead with this. And thank you very much for attending this session. Thanks a lot, guys.